嗨，大家好，欢迎来到程人频道，最真实的工程师 Podcast。在这里会讨论最新的科技发展、产业趋势以及工程师职业分享。喜欢本频道的听众，请到 Apple Podcast 还有 Spotify 上面给我们5星的评价留言，也分享给更多的朋友，让我们把想法传递给更多的人。
Time for a break. Grab a coffee, get comfy, and catch up with old friends. Join us for an easy chat on all the biggest news stories of the day on ICRT BreakDown.A bilingual 2030 policy program brought to you in cooperation with the National Development Council.
Hello, everybody, and time again for the ICRT Breakdown in the fabulous ICRT coffee shop, which is lacking coffee today. What's going on? We need a new assistant to kind of straighten these things out. Anyways, I'm your co-host, Tim Berge, and also with me today is our great other co-host.
I am Paz Bueno.And
Paz, I think we have a very interesting guest joining us today.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about a topic which is very hot.
Very, very trendy right now.
It's more than trendy. It's hot. It's burning in the news recently.
Right. So joining us today is Ted from 程人频道 or TechPorn.
TechPorn? What? Wait, it's the good kind of porn, isn't it?
Well, is there such thing as bad porn? But this kind of...
In certain conversations, we're a family radio station.
Right. So this is a TechPorn 程人频道, but it's not the 程人 that you're thinking of. So hi, Ted. Welcome to the show.Hello
guys, hello Tim, hello Paz.
So Ted started his podcast with the goal of sharing his knowledge about the tech world. He is an engineer and he talks about the latest technologies and he talks about how important it is to find reliable information so that people out there can go and learn more about technology. So Ted, can you tell us a little bit more about your podcast?
Hello guys, I'm founder of 程人频道 and TechPorn. It's 工程的程. It's a wordplay that might sound like a suggested channel name, right? But we focus on sharing exciting technology-related content. And actually, today is my first time being on a different show, and it's in English, so which is making me really nervous. But I'm also really excited to be here and share with you guys. And let me introduce in Chinese. And 程人频道是一个最真实的工程师 podcast， 我们会主要分享一些工程师相关的一些内容，包含一些新的科技 AI、Blockchain、Web3， 还有一些工程师一些 software 相关的知识。如果大家喜欢的话，可以去在我们频道可以找到一些有趣的东西。
Yes. All right. So everyone's been talking about ChatGPT and its impact in education and in the creative field. 大家最近都在讲就是 ChatGPT， 然后怎么样在教育或者是在一些创意的领域的影响。But today we're also going to be jumping on the bandwagon. 我们一样也来赶时髦 and talk about this fascinating AI tool. So being the tech engineer here, so Ted 是工程师, so Ted is going to be watering down. He's going to 帮我们简化 the knowledge for us. We are just average folk here. 我们普通的人可能都听不懂。But we're gonna go ahead and begin by talking, first of all, what is ChatGPT?
Okay, ChatGPT is a super smart AI model. And that's based on the advanced GPT 3.5 and now it's 4.0 architecture. It's been trained on a large amount of text data and can generate amazing human-like responses to natural language input. And natural language is like 中文, like 英文 is what we say in daily life. But that is not all. ChatGPT can also analyze the content of a conversation and respond accordingly and make it a great tool for customer service and support. So it provides a lot of ability for humans to quickly and efficiently to solve their problem. And there is another amazing thing. ChatGPT can even write code, you know.
Oh.
So this advanced programming capability, I think it can help engineers a lot like me. Yeah, I use it every day.
Okay, so that's natural language processing. And then you mentioned that it's very similar to how we communicate with each other. So 跟我们像我们平常在沟通的时候，我们可以直接告诉 ChatGPT 我们想要找什么，或我们想要它帮我们制造什么样的资料 and then it just generates it in a way that's very natural sounding, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we know what ChatGPT is. So how did it start? Who came up with ChatGPT?
Okay, I think I should explain in Chinese in this phase.
Okay.
ChatGPT 它是 OpenAI 开发出来的。我觉得如果大家有兴趣对于它的一些更细节的部分，可以去参考李弘毅老师的影片。那当然 ChatGPT 它官方也有提供 很多它的一些，包含它训练流程等等。那它有一张图，我可以跟大家稍微分享一下。首先，它第一步就是要去收集很多资料，那这些资料它可能是来自网络上，来自一些原本的一些 data set， 让它开始做训练，它开始学习怎么把这个文字接下去，然后再来就是第二个阶段，它会去找一些更好的资料，用人去做一些 label， 就是做标注说，你这些资料是好还是不好。比如说你今天说我想要吃饭，可是如果有人说什么我想要去打人，那这是不好的，那他就会让他知道说，哪些答案是好，哪些答案是不好的，那会有一个 reward model。然后最后就是让 ChatGPT 它可以自己跟这个 reward model 做学习，让它有一个强化学习的过程。当然这个词有点困难，就是简单来讲就是让机器自己知道说，这件事情是好的，这件事情是不好的，然后让它自己去 tune 出一个最好的结果。ChatGPT 就是基于大量的一些自然语言，自然语言就是我们所谓的中文、英文这些所慢慢训练出来的一个结果，那就是变成现在各位所看到的情况。当然在 ChatGPT 4出来之后呢，它可以看懂的不只是一些文本，它甚至可以看懂一些图片，甚至一些迷因等等。这其实是非常具有突破性的一件事情，因为代表说当他看懂文字看懂图，那接下来只要把声音把什么都串进去，它将会是在不久的将来非常非常可怕的一个武器。
Okay, so ChatGPT is not only taking natural language, like as you mentioned, like English and Chinese, but it's also taking images, also like memes, so like pop culture references, things that basically make up the internet, and then basically just using all of that and then generating an even deeper library. 所以它的那个资料库其实不只是语言的部分，就是 like it's basically everything that can be put into a computer, it can use it, right?
这个详细的我可能 4.0 还没有，才刚出来，所以我还没有研究那么深入。对，但是以 3.5 来讲，就是大量的文字模型这样。有一个点可能跟大家分享一下，就很多人会觉得说 ChatGPT 是不是，比如说问他说我今天想要吃东西，他就给你一个答案。那有些人会觉得说他好像只是在他的 database 里面去捞一些资料，其实不是的，因为 deep learning 它是一个 model， 那这个 model 我们只是去使用它，它并不是真的像传统的觉得说我去资料库捞资料。
OK，
你甚至可以说它就本身就是有在做一个思考，它的深度学习的网络在做一个思考，所以并不是说我去哪边捞资料。
That is really interesting. So you mentioned that it can also do some coding. 它也可以写程式。Let's say that I am a programmer or I'm learning how to code, I'm learning how to program. What does ChatGPT? How can it help me maybe improve, or how can I, as a beginner programmer, maybe like get into that field better?
I think for now you can ask him some question when you're learning, and it's time to redefine how we learning, because for example, lots of people say 工程师会被取代, but that's not correct, I think, because engineers are not likely to be replaced by AI in the near future, because there are many aspects of engineering that involve more than just coding. AI can be a powerful tool to assist engineers in their work, but it cannot replace their creativity, problem-solving ability, and some critical thinking. So if you want to learn some coding skill, you can think ChatGPT is a good teacher for some beginner.
And I think it's also important to remember when we're just talking about natural language processing, this has been around for a long time. For example, when you go onto Google and you write in a search, it's using that to find the information you actually want, because we don't always ask questions the way maybe a computer can quickly understand. Mm-hmm. So it has to understand how we people speak. Or when you talk to Siri or Alexa, it's all the same thing. So, I mean, I think the implications that this will offer in the future are going to be vast. As this technology gets better and better, the things that it'll be able to do will probably be mind-boggling.
Yeah, so like we already use natural language processing. It's something that, since the beginning of the internet, I think we've been trying to communicate with computers. So ChatGPT is just going to make it a little bit easier. I think Ted mentioned a really good point, is that we need to rethink the way that we learn, or how we use these kinds of tools. Because I think right now a lot of teachers are worried that my students are just gonna, use ChatGPT, and that's what their, the answers to the questions are gonna be.
Let me translate for you. The teachers are afraid the students are all going to cheat.
Yes,
that's what you're trying to say.
But at the same time, I feel like a lot of teachers are going to be cheating as well. So it's like, it's like Ted said, we need to redefine. 我们要重新想我们是怎么样去学习. Like we need to redefine how we learn. All right, Ted, you mentioned also that going forward, it's going to be more of a helpful tool. So can you give me some examples? Like, let's say I want to make a very simple alarm app for my phone. How can I use ChatGPT to help me develop the code for that?
I think you just ask him, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But you have to ask good question. You should not just ask, 我想要一个 APP. He will not help you because you have to say that what kind of APP you want to build. That's why everyone should learn to work along with AI, not totally AI. AI has the potential to transform and enhance many industries, right? That is not designed to replace humans entirely. So for now, if you want to write your own APP, for example, ChatGPT 4, he can even know what the picture is, right? You know that?
Oh.
So you can just draw a picture and tell him you want to have what kind of functionality, and you can ask him, how can I achieve it? So asking good question is the most important skill in the future, I think.
Yeah, asking good questions. That's really good.
And that's what we try to do. And it's interesting what Ted just said now, because when 4.0 first came out just a few weeks back, I saw many news stories where people were writing simple applications on a napkin. Like they're in a restaurant and they think of an idea, they write on a restaurant. And as Ted just said, 4.0 is able to see the visual and create,
translate that image
into a simple app.
Okay.
So what we're doing over cocktails in the future is going to be amazing, I guess.
Yes. All right. So you mentioned that AI, or rather ChatGPT or AI like ChatGPT, won't really replace, 它其实是不能完全去取代工程师 or like really many other jobs that a lot of people are worried about, like writers, copywriters, things like that. So what do you recommend? Like, let's say someone who really wants to join this field, they want to take advantage, 他们想要使用这个工具，彻底好好的使用. So besides asking good questions, what other things do you recommend? Maybe like what should we learn, or maybe what can we do in order to better use it as a tool?
Well, you should try to use right now. Actually, we don't know how ChatGPT really thinks because it's training based on deep learning, right? It's like a black box. We know how we build it, but just like human, like 意识。我们人类不知道意识是怎么形成的。So it's like deep learning model.
So Ted, how can an engineer use it as a tool, or how can everyday people use ChatGPT as a tool? 如果想要好好利用它来使用它的话，你会对工程师有什么建议？
Okay, for engineer, I think you need to learn more. You need to learn lots of technology-related things, and let's help you to ask some good question to ChatGPT. And for normal people, I think it's also important to develop strong communication skills and the ability to ask good questions, as they will be important in collaborating efficiently with AI system. AI has the potential to enhance and transform many industries, including engineering and maybe podcasting in the future. Yeah, you just need to build some content, right, and use some voice model, and it can be a podcaster. So for now, learning how to work along with AI is really, really important, and not only us but also lots of students now. So in the past, we will think. 一个人数学很好 is a 聪明的学生, right?
Yeah.
But now creativity is more important, I think.
Yeah, being able to solve problems and find solutions to things.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good point, because throughout human history, when there's new technology introduced, people are always afraid that, that's going to kill an industry, people are going to lose jobs. But instead what happens is people find new jobs to do.
Yes.
I mean, 20 years ago, whoever thought of like something like a personal assistant? And these days, all the Hollywood stars have a personal assistant. So we're always creating new jobs and new opportunities. So we don't need to necessarily fear the new technology. But as Ted is saying, we have to be creative and learn new ways to use it. And as we learn new ways to use it, then we can create new job possibilities, new industries, etc.
Yeah, we have to maximize it because it can really revolutionize. 就是真的可以革新, not just the tech industry, but like a lot of different industries.
Our everyday lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 我很喜欢用一个例子，就像之前，因为这个我不知道怎么用英文讲，就是国道收费员，在以前台湾的高速公路上面会有那个收费站，然后会有很多那个工作人员车开过去要给他那个票，
对，
就是回数票。但是现在你在高速公路上是没有这个东西的，
对，你就是直接开车过去，超方便的。
没错没错。那像是以前手机是什么大金刚，有人说这是一个新的 iPhone 时刻。10几年前 iPhone 出来之后，谁能够想象 iPhone 今天的样子？那同样的，现在 AI 很新，但10年之后，它可能也变成现在的 iPhone 是一个很 normal 的一个技术这样。So it's important to embrace new technologies and remain open to new ideas and ways of working to stay relevant in a rapid changing world.
Yes, staying relevant, very important. All right, so that brings us maybe to the last part of our show.
Okay, so we're going to go to our pet peeves and cat's meow. So this is the part of the show where we always like to wrap things up before we give the final wrap up. And we like to talk about maybe a word in English or a phrase or a new slang that we either really love, so that's a cat's meow, or something we really hate. That would be our pet peeve, something we really kind of dislike. And I don't know, do you want me to start or do you want to start, Paz?
Maybe you start since you are the
because I'm the crazy person who thought of this?
Yes.
Okay. So one thing which I've been seeing, it's actually been going on for a few years, but really confused me at first. And it's something that young people like you probably use, Paz, not old folks like me. But it's to ghost somebody.
Ah, yes.
And so to ghost somebody, it's not like you scare them like I originally thought, a ghost. But to ghost somebody just means you all of a sudden, you yourself disappear from their life. So if somebody maybe likes you, but you decide you don't like them, you kind of just like block them on Facebook, you block them on your phone so they can't find you.
Right.
And so you ghost them. You make them non-existent in your life. They're invisible like a ghost. So to be honest, I think that's kind of a cat's meow. I kind of like that. But the meaning, what people are doing, I don't quite like. Because I think even if it's someone you don't like, you should maybe deal with it or just tell them, it's like, get out of my life. Leave me alone. Just don't disappear. That's a little cruel.
In a nutshell, Tim, is you'd rather be the ghoster than the ghostee.
Yeah,
you don't want to get ghosted by anyone.
If I'm the ghostee, I'm going to be crying in my corner. You got it, Paz. You got it.
All right. What about Ted? Did you learn any English phrases or English words recently that you like or didn't like?
Yeah, I really like a new term is called natural language programming.
Ooh.
In the future, I think you don't need to learn coding. You just need to learn how to prompt with AI. You can use English, you can use Chinese to be a programmer, you know?
Yeah.
So it's very ridiculous if we have this kind of concept 10 years ago, but the future is near.
Yeah.
Maybe we are in the future now.
We are already in the future. That's right. Okay, so natural language programming.
Yeah.
And can I interrupt just for 1 second, Ted? I'm kind of curious. So you're telling us how great all of this is. Is there some place that maybe us not too smart people can go and kind of start learning more about this ChatGPT and other technologies like that? Is there sort of like a primer, like a 入门的, something like that where we can learn more so us normal people can maybe start being as smart as you?
Tim, just listen to TechPorn.
Oh.
Yeah, Leslie, a good answer.
But that's all in Chinese. 你都是讲中文，那太累了吧?
Yeah, if you guys want to know some idea about AI, I think because, for now, ChatGPT 4.0 just appeared 2 weeks ago. 现在应该还没有一个完整的一个学习方式，但是像我刚刚前面讲，如果大家有兴趣了解基础，可以去看台大的李弘毅老师的课程。那当然你也可以收听成人频道。
Yes, of course.
说得好，说得好。
Yeah. Okay, so my cat's meow it is because
okay, let's hear it.
I love this particular line. So recently I've been watching Star Wars The Clone Wars. Finally finished it last night, and there is one line that one character says to another character as she is fighting him. And she says, "You'll find I have many qualities for you to dislike." Because he's commenting how she is very arrogant, just like her master was. So she's kind of like rebuttaling him, like, well, yeah, you'll see that I have many qualities for you to dislike. So I thought that was like a very cool thing to say.
Is there any special message there or anything like that?
No, it's just, you do you. If some people don't like you, well, they'll find the qualities for them to dislike, but that doesn't mean you need to change.
I like that. So in other words, do you and do me.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, we've been listening again to ICRT's Breakdown, and we've been very happy today to have with us Ted. And Ted is from TechPorn, and as we said before, this is the good kind of porn.
成人频道，不过不是你想的那个成人。
That's right.
Yeah. 工程的程，
工程的程 yes.
And we've enjoyed everything you've shared with us today, Ted, about ChatGPT and about artificial intelligence. I think we all have a better understanding now, and we really appreciate your assistance.
Thank you so much.
So I'm Tim.
I'm Paz.
So thank you again. And this conversation, like all ICRT Breakdowns, is brought to you with the kind support of the National Development Council. See you guys next month.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Breaking the ice, breaking the mold, breaking down the news. You've been listening to ICRT Breakdown, a bilingual 2030 policy program brought to you in association with the National Development Council.